All right. So for today's lesson, you can take out your notebook. Go ahead and write down Unit 1. This is Unit Conversion Notes, and the date is 9/12. So, essential question for today: why do we need to convert between units? Well, we need to convert between units for calculations. Um, Sometimes, you're forced to measure a unit in a certain way, um, but you need it in a different form to solve a problem. For example, you were going to measure your height, you'd probably measure that in inches or feet in inches. Um, but maybe you need it in just in feet for a problem that you're trying to calculate, and so then you need to convert it from inches to feet. Um, and so we're going to be doing a lot of that today, converting between units. Um, so take notes, and then there's a little practice for you to do. Okay. Um, all right. So here are some common conversions that you may need to work with. Um, Note, we will give you any non-metric conversions that you need in the test. So if you're wondering what a metric conversion is, don't worry, we're going to cover that tomorrow. Um, but you do not need to memorize these. Um, but these are, so 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds, 1 mile is 5,280 feet, 1 meter is 3.28 feet, 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. I got that wrong at a trivia contest once. 3 feet equals 1 yard. 60 seconds is 1 minute. 60 minutes is 1 hour. 24 hours is 1 day. 365.25 days in a year. So remember, the 0.25 is because every fourth year we have a leap year, right? So there's 29 days in February instead of 28. Um, 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. 1,000 millimeters equals 1 meter. So again, you don't need to memorize these. These are just some common metric conversions that you're going to see. Will always give you the conversion when you need it. Okay, but how do you use these equations, these conversions, to convert from one unit to another? Well, that's what we're going to learn today. And I'm going to be teaching the fraction method. Now, there are other methods to do this. If you know how to do them, you're welcome to try that way. And I'll even give you feedback to help you if that's the way you want to try to do it. But the way I'm going to teach in class is going to be the fraction method. So how does that work? Well, you start with your given number of units. You leave space to convert. And then you write the units that you are converting to at the end. So for example, let's say we started in inches and we were converting to feet. We would write our number in inches at the beginning, and then we would just write the units feet at the very end of our problem to know that that's what we're converting to. And so that's just to help us so that we know when we're done. Step 3 is use the conversion relationship and write the old unit on top or on bottom and the number with the new unit on top. And so we'll show you what that looks like on the next page. Step 4 is just repeat and stop when you have your desired unit. And then step 5 is you're just going to multiply the numbers on top and divide the numbers on bottom. So go ahead and write that down. If you're confused by all of that, don't worry. We're going to go through 3 examples right now. Okay. So we need to, for these problems, convert 20 kilometers to miles. And they tell us that 1.61 kilometers equals 1 mile. We need to convert 6 cups to teaspoons, and they tell us that 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon, and 16 tablespoons equals 1 cup. And then finally, we're going to convert 2 gallons to milliliters. And they tell us that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, and 3.785 liters equals 1 gallon. So that's what we're going to be doing for examples. And so you can see I've started with step 1 with all these, which is start with your given number with units. So we were given 20 kilometers, so I wrote that down first. We were given 6 cups, so I wrote that down here. And we were given 2 gallons. That's why I wrote that down here, 2 gallons. The abbreviation for gallons is GAL. Okay, so how do we do that conversion? Well, let's go back to step 2. Step 2 said leave space to convert and write the units you are converting to at the end. So what does that mean? Well, I'm converting 2 miles, right? So from 20 kilometers to miles. So that means I'm going to write miles at the very end. For this one, I'm going to write teaspoons at the very end. And then for this one, I'm going to write milliliters at the very end. Okay, and so then what do we do with that? Well, we're going to start by taking this 20 kilometers and converting that into miles. Okay, and we're going to use this equation, this conversion that they gave us to do the conversion. So, to set this up, we're going to multiply by a fraction. You'll notice these 2 numbers are in this fraction. We always take the unit that we're converting from, and we put that on bottom, right? That's because these kilometers are going to cancel out with these kilometers. And we always write the units that we're converting to on top. And so, how do we calculate this? Well, what you would actually type in your calculator is 20 times 1. In fact, I might actually show this on just a Google calculator in just a second here. But in your calculator, you're going to type 20 times 1, and you're going to divide by 1.61. So here, let's see what that looks like. 20 times 1 divided by 1.61. And you see we get about 12.4. I think that's how I rounded it in the problem. 12.4. Oh, 12.42. Right? 12.42. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing with the next one. So we're starting with 6 cups and we're going to teaspoons. This one is a 2-step conversion. We can't do it in 1 step because there is no just one conversion from teaspoon to cups. We've got to go from teaspoons to tablespoons first. From cups to tablespoons first. So we're going to start off with this bottom one. And that's because we're starting in cups, and of these 2 conversions, this is the only one that starts with cups. So on the bottom of our fraction, we're going to write 1 cup. That way the cups will cancel out. And on top, we're going to put 16 tablespoons. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I had to make a little edit because I didn't like that the units here didn't match up with the units here. And so we're converting, in this first one, we're converting from cups to tablespoons, and there's 16 tablespoons in a cup. So we put cups on bottom so that the cups cancel out. And then we put the tablespoons, the 16 tablespoons on top. Okay, and so then, now at this point we're at tablespoons, but remember we want to end up at teaspoons. So now we're going to go from tablespoons to teaspoons. So we're going to put 3 teaspoons on top, 1 tablespoon on bottom. Now our tablespoons will cancel out, and we'll be left with teaspoons. So how do we calculate this? Well, we're going to do 6 times 16 times 3, and then divided by 1 and divided by 1. So let's go ahead and type that in. 6 times 16 times 3, then divided by 1 and divided by 1. 288. $288 teaspoons in 6 cups. So the idea is whichever unit's on top here, you want to put that same matching unit on bottom so that it cancels out, and then that way it will convert it to whatever unit is on top. And then you keep doing that until you end up with the unit that you're looking for. So for this, okay, so then at this point we convert from gallons to liters. That's because the gallons cancel out with the gallons, and we're left with liters on top. Okay, so now we want to go from liters to milliliters. So we're going to use this conversion now. We're going to write 1 liter on top. That way the liters will cancel out with the liters. And we're left with milliliters on top. So then, when we convert, or when we calculate it, we're going to do 2 times 3.875 times 1,000, and then divided by 1 and divided by 1. So 2 times 3.875 times 1,000 divided by 1 divided by 1 gets us to 7,750. So let's see how that compares. Oh, whoops, wrong one. I got too many tabs open. 7,570. Did I make a mistake typing it in? Nope, this is just the wrong number. Okay, so sorry about that. See, even Mr. Brunsvold makes mistakes too. So yeah, 7,750 milliliters. And so again, as we're setting up these conversions, we always want the one that we're converting from. So whatever we started with, that's going to be on bottom. And whatever we want, what we're going to end up on top. And then we'll end up with the right units. So if you have any questions about this, hop back in the WebEx and go ahead and ask me. Or you can always hop in during office hours. Remember, those are from 3 to 4 every single day. Also, just hop in the WebEx for those. I love getting questions there. All right, so let's do a few practice problems. You can go ahead and try these on your own. Go over them in a bit. So go ahead and pause your video and give these a try. We're converting in this first one from 8.9 centimeters to meters. In the second one, we're going from 9.5 pounds to grams. And in the third one, we're going to convert 55 minutes into a year. So you can see like for this one was a one-step one because we only used one fraction. These two were both two-step ones because there's two fractions. So two fractions in this one and two fractions in this one. I'm going to let you know right now, number one is a one-step, number two is a two-step, and number three is a three-step for this one. Um, so go ahead and give those a try. All the potential conversions that you might need are written over here. Um, so for number one, you're only going to need one conversion. For number two, that's going to take two conversions. And for number three, that's going to take three conversions. So go ahead and give those a try on your own. Um, and then when you think you're ready, unpause. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to try these problems, let me just go over the answers with you real quick. So for number one, we were trying to convert 8.9 centimeters to meters, so that would be 0.08 meters. For number two, we were trying to convert 9.5 pounds to grams, so we should have ended up with 4,318 grams. And for number three, we were trying to convert 55 minutes into years, and so that ends up equaling 0.000104 years. Um, okay, and so then just to show the work for these ones real quick. Um, so if we want to go to 8.9 centimeters to meters, we want to take a look through all of these units and look for the one that has centimeter, or all these conversions, and look for the one that has centimeters. So I would land on this one right here. Um, that one is the only one that has centimeters in it, so I'm going to put 100 centimeters on bottom, put 1 meter on top, multiply. We should get 0.089 meters. For problem number two, we want to convert 9.5 pounds to grams. So we're going to take 9.5 pounds. And then let's look over here for any units with pounds in them. Well, the only one that has it is this one right here. So we're going to put that on bottom, 2.2 pounds. We're going to put 1 kilogram on top. Okay, and so then in the next step, we're going to try to go from kilograms to grams. So let's take a look and see which units we have kilograms with. Well, we already have this one, but that's the one that we just used, so we can't use that one. So then as we look down, this is the only one with kilograms in it. So we're going to put 1 kilogram on bottom, because that kilogram is going to cancel with that kilogram. We'll put 1,000 grams on top. And so then when we multiply this, it should be 9.5 times 1 times 1,000, and then divided by 2.2 divided by 1. And that will leave us with 4,318.18 grams. I rounded it to 4,318 on the previous slide. So 4,318 is fine. Don't worry about the decimal. Okay, and so then last up, converting 55 minutes into a year. So we start with 55 minutes. So let's take a look and see which of these units have minutes in them. Well, it could be this one. This one has 1 minute, but then that takes us into seconds. So that seems like we're going the wrong way, right? Because a year is longer than a minute, and a second is shorter than a minute. So we want to get it to a unit of time that's longer than a minute. So we're going to use this one right here because it has hours in it. And we know that an hour is longer than a minute. So we're going to take 60 minutes, put that on top. 55 minutes times 1 hour over 60 minutes. So now our minutes will cancel out. We're left with hours. So now we want to take a look through and see which units on this table have hours. Well, that would be this one right here. Right? 1 day equals 24 hours, so we're going to put 24 hours on bottom. We're going to take 1 day and we're going to put that on top. Hours cancel out. And so then we're going to go from days to years. So we want to look for a conversion that has days and years, and that's going to be this one at the bottom. 1 year is 365.25 days. Remember that 0.25 is there because of leap year. Um, so we're going to take 1 year over 365.25 days. So that'll get our days to cancel out and leave us with our final answer in years. Um, what did I forget the units on this one? Okay, sorry about that. So I added the units at the end. This one should be in years. Remember, this should be actually your second step. After you write down 55 minutes, the next thing you should actually even write is years at the very end here. So that's my bad. Okay, so if you have any questions about unit conversion, please hop in the WebEx chat or send me a message on Schoology or something, because eventually we should get together so that I can help you understand this. Um, yeah, uh, so what you can do from there is open the unit conversion practice and Notability, complete the assignment, submit to Schoology. You guys know how to contact me, so uh, I will see you later.